I discovered my first husband was unfaithful with my sister, leading me to divorce him and cut ties with my toxic family. Years later, life took an unexpected twist. I've been married to my current husband, Ryan, a 32-year-old man, for 6 years. Our bond is solid, I'd say. We've faced typical marital ups and downs, but we've grown stronger and share a deep love. Everything was fine until 8 months ago when my sister, Star, a 28-year-old woman, returned to our hometown after living in Florida since she was 18. Her long-term boyfriend ended their relationship and relocated, leaving her broke. The reasons for their split remain unclear. Upon her return, Star claimed he had been cheating with men. I didn't know him well, having met him only 3 times, but this story seemed unlikely. He joined her for 2 of her brief Christmas visits, which lasted 3 or 4 days. The 3rd time was during a one-day stopover when Ryan and I visited them during a vacation 3 years ago. He didn't seem like someone living a secret life, abandoning Star with nothing. I tried contacting him once, but found he'd blocked me, so I dropped it. Star moved back in with our parents, Gina, 55, and Jimmy, 56, for her first month back. She struggled to find a job, so I suggested Ryan might help. He holds a senior position at his company and could likely pull some strings. He did, and Star landed a role in his department aligned with her expertise. For context, Star and I were never close. She's always been the favorite, especially to Mom, while Dad never challenges Mom's decisions. It's subtle but constant. Small things add up. For instance, at 16 we both got cars, but mine was a beat-up 8-year-old Dodge Neon, while hers was a sleek 2-year-old Mitsubishi Eclipse. Her dance lessons, costumes, and faraway competitions cost thousands, and our parents never hesitated. Yet when I asked for $50 for a local volleyball or basketball camp, they acted like I was demanding a fortune, though they'd eventually pay. What infuriated me most was when I was 17. I stayed out 15 minutes past curfew with my boyfriend, and they grounded me from my car for a month. The next year, when Star came home 2 hours late, reeking of weed, she only got a mild lecture. I wasn't exactly heartbroken when she left for college and stayed in Florida. Despite this history, she started spending more time at our house, which initially felt like an attempt to reconnect. Then I noticed she and Ryan were growing unusually close. They'd chat endlessly about anything, sharing private jokes. When I tried joining in, they'd brush it off as just a work thing. When I asked Ryan about it, he said they shared interests and collaborated on projects at work. The first major warning sign came when, after a month of this, I'd come home from work to find Star already at our house. Ryan and I have different schedules. He works 8 to 4:30, while I work 10 to 7. This happened frequently. When I questioned it, they always said they were working on something. 2 months ago, I noticed something that made me doubt my sanity. I make our bed every morning, ensuring the pillowcase openings face the bed's edges. One day, Star was over. After she ate dinner with us and left for our parents' house, I noticed 2 pillowcases were flipped inward. I asked Ryan if he'd been in bed that day. He seemed startled but said no. When I pointed out the bed wasn't as I'd made it, he insisted I was mistaken, claiming no one had been there. I secretly checked his phone and laptop but found nothing. Then again, they spent 8 hours a day, 5 days a week together at work, plus time afterward. Why would they need to text? I felt like I was going crazy. 2 weeks ago, my parents invited us for dinner. Things seemed fine until I saw something odd. As Ryan walked by, Star gently touched his arm. He turned, she whispered something, and their foreheads briefly touched. It lasted a second. Ryan quickly straightened and moved on. Star glanced at me, smiled, and resumed what she was doing. I'm not naive. This was a pile of red flags. I didn't want to believe it. I've loved Ryan since I was 21. I planned a weekend city getaway to confront him, hoping it wasn't what I feared. Update: you were all correct, and my life shattered. Our weekend started well. Friday night was fun with drinks, dancing, and intimacy. Saturday, we had plans, and I nearly didn't bring it up, convinced he couldn't be cheating. I was wrong. Before we left, I asked directly if he was having an affair with Star. Tears in his eyes, he admitted he was. My heart broke. I asked why. He apologized, saying it wasn't planned. They connected, it started with a kiss, then escalated. I asked if he'd been with her in our bed before I got home. He looked away in shame. I grabbed my purse and drove home alone. He took an Uber, arriving hours later with my things. He tried apologizing, but I ignored him. Sobbing, he packed a bag and left for a hotel. The next day, I told my parents. They already knew. They apologized but said Star had left that night and might be gone for days, likely with Ryan. This was 3 months ago. Our divorce is finalized. Ryan rented an apartment and Star moved in with him. I only contact him about divorce matters. At first, he offered me the house and savings, likely out of guilt. Days later, he insisted we split the house. Star's influence, I'm sure. I'd already transferred the savings to a new account, so that wasn't an issue. 9 years of my life gone. He doesn't realize what he's in for. Star's a narcissist who'll discard him eventually. She's been cruel. Days after I found out, she tagged me in a Facebook post, a selfie of her and Ryan, him kissing her cheek, captioned, "Feeling cherished." It was vile. I deleted the app and logged out. An hour later, she texted, "Oops, didn't mean to tag you. No bad blood, sis. Hope we stay close. You'll find your true love someday." I blocked her everywhere. My parents were no better. They feigned sympathy at first. When I said I was going no contact with Star and Ryan, Mom said, "I'm sorry, but Star deserves happiness too. You'll find someone and we'll move past this." I told them about Star's post and text. Mom dismissed it, saying, "You shouldn't be on that stuff anyway." Dad stayed silent. When I asked his opinion, he said, "I agree with your mom," and left. I'm going no contact with them too. The house is selling soon, and I'm moving to another state without telling them. I wish them the worst. Update. It's been 4 years since my last update, but a major event occurred. First, about me. I'm newly engaged. It took extensive therapy to date again. After settling in Minnesota, I tried dating, but had one decent first date followed by a guy revealing his true awful self. I swore off men. Therapy helped me process the betrayal by my ex-husband's sister and parents. After a tough year, I met James, a 37-year-old chef. He and his twin brother, Jack, own a thriving restaurant and bar. I'm thrilled for our future. Now, the audacity of my family, 9 months after I left, fully no contact, I found a wedding invitation from Ryan and Star in my mail with a cringeworthy photo of them in a sunflower field. A letter from my parents urged me to forgive, saying, "We're family, and families resolve issues." They claimed Star wanted me as a bridesmaid like she was for me. Outrageous. It reopened wounds, keeping my therapist busy. Now, I find it absurd, but then it hurt. I didn't respond, only cutting off the relative who shared my address. Recent drama. Last week, Ryan showed up at my apartment. James and I don't live together yet, but we will soon. Ryan looked polished, suspiciously so. I asked what he wanted. He said he needed to talk, apologizing for his actions. He and Star were divorcing. She'd been unfaithful their entire marriage. He didn't expect reconciliation, but wanted closure. I was stunned. I told him, "No closure. You chose your path. Did you think she'd change just because you married her? You're dumber than I thought. I forgive nothing. I want nothing from you. I'm better off." I walked inside, locking the door. I called my landlady, a kind, elderly woman I've grown close to. Ryan lingered in the hall until her nephews, who maintained the property, warned him he was banned and would face police if he returned. I hoped that was it, but no. I work a 9 to 5 now and visit James's restaurant most nights he's managing. I blend in, enjoying brief moments with him and befriending the staff, many of whom are his family, a supportive circle I always craved. The next night, Ryan walked in and sat at my table. It was a quiet Tuesday. James noticed, approached, and asked if I wanted him removed. I said, "Not yet. I have questions." Ryan looked smug. I asked about his split with Star, driven by curiosity. He said she had at least 2 affairs with married men within 2 years. I rolled my eyes, interrupting. "You're not that naive. Did you protect your assets, or did she take half?" He bragged he endured another year, hiding savings and selling assets, so she got little. I asked what happened to her. He said she moved back with my parents. Satisfied, I said, "That's all I needed. Leave." James echoed, "You heard her. Out." Ryan saw the bartender and waitstaff glaring, slunk out, and didn't return. My future in-laws called, insisting I stay with James for safety. Their care was touching. I've never had a family like this. Update. I didn't expect another update, but here we are. I'm now a 41-year-old mom of 2 boys, ages 6 and 2. James and I are thriving. I work part-time as an office manager for their restaurants and stay home part-time. James's cousin joined the business, and we opened a second location 3 years ago. It's demanding, but their involvement ensures success and personal time. I likely got pregnant staying with James after my in-laws insisted post Ryan's visit. They now tease it was their grandparent plan. Now, the drama. After Ryan's last appearance, I expected my parents or Star to show up. It didn't happen immediately. I rejoined social media, knowing my family could find me but staying no contact. After our first son's birth, Mom messaged me with a weak apology, preaching forgiveness and asking about her grandson. I found her claim insulting and replied, "You have no grandchildren. I'm not your daughter, so my kids aren't related to you. If you want grandkids, tell Star to do what she's good at." I blocked her. She kept trying with new accounts, but I ignored them. Recent drama. I was flooded with messages begging me to reconnect, citing sob stories about missing my kids and wanting amends. I didn't care or plan to reconnect. Then Star started messaging, insisting she needed to talk. After 3 weeks, I agreed to a Zoom call. Just me, no kids. They kept pushing to see my children, but I refused, saying they had 3 grandparents, James's parents and Grandma. I sensed an ulterior motive. Star looked unwell, and my parents seemed worn out. They apologized, even Star, who claimed regret and wanted her sister back. I scoffed. Mom rambled about family unity. When she finished, I said, "Is that it? I'm leaving." They panicked, and the truth emerged. Star has kidney failure and needs a transplant. They contacted me because a family member is the likeliest match. I asked, "You called because you want me to save her? After everything? My husband wasn't enough? Now she needs my organ?" Mom snapped, "Stop this!" It was long ago. Crying, she said, "I know you hate us, but she'll die without a transplant. Is that what you want?" Dad finally spoke, admitting their financial struggles and Star's medical bills, asking me to return to Missouri to test for a match and help with their debts. I said, "So you need my kidney and my money?" He denied it was like that. Star begged, "Come home. I need my sister. I don't want to die." I said I'd think about it, research, and answer tomorrow. I discussed it with James, who supported any choice. He asked if we should all go or just him. I decided to go alone. I told my family I'd get tested in Minnesota and, if a match, I'd come to discuss the rest. A week later, results confirmed I was a perfect match for Star. I traveled to St. Charles. Star was hospitalized with complications, which spared me from social pressure, though my parents kept asking about financial help. They stabilized Star. I met with the transplant doctors and requested a group discussion in Star's room, with my parents present. The doctor explained Star had 6 months without a transplant, emphasizing my perfect match and the urgency. I approached Star, held her hand, and looked into her eyes. I said, "You heard that? I'm your perfect match, the only one who can save you, and I won't. You're the most selfish, vile person I know. I came to ensure you know the one person who could save you is the one you hurt most. You'll pay with your life. Accept it." Star sobbed. My parents lunged to confront me. The doctor and nurse stood shocked. I told my parents, "Don't speak to me or ask for anything. The only money I'd spend on you is for your funeral, on condition you're cremated, and I'd flush your ashes in the filthiest toilet I find." I left the room, returned to Minnesota, and am happier than ever with my true family.